Good evening, everybody, and I hope you're all keeping well on this, again, glorious Wednesday evening up here in sunny Dumfries. I'll bring the guys in. You get ready for this. It's a bit scary. And tonight, we've got Di in Making a Better Life, and we've got Dale. This is Wife Beaters Are Us. Right, enough of that. I am expecting Scott to come in as well at some point. Jamie was going to be coming in, but he's got family stuff going on at the moment, so he won't be in. And what we're doing tonight, I've got a nice piece of spalted sycamore on the lathe, which was donated to me by Dale when I was last down at his place. Ooh, so we're going to have a play with this tonight. Fairly simple bowl, probably going to put some colour on it. Jamie and I discussed this earlier on, and rather than go for my usual reds and yellows, I'm going to go blue tonight. So I will grab my trusty gouge, get this rounded off, turn that speed down a bit, get this rounded off, and we'll see where we get to. So if you guys can let us know what's happening in the chat.
Okay, dog. What's happening in the chat is that Di's got his headphone, he's got his mic up still, and we can't hear him talking. If you listen, we can't hear him talking at all. He's making no noise whatsoever. Right. So what's happening in the chat, right, Wayne, is text is kind of scrolling up the screen.
That's nice.
Basically. So yes, out in the chat we have the lovely Barry Chitty, Benjamin, Darren J. Callison, Dave Oatley, Derek Brightman, Eric Winkler, Gerard the French Turner, Robert and Ari at Oddpod Woodworks, Ian the Monkey Hanger Turner, James Cabbage, James Crawford, Jennifer's Crafting Creations, the lovely Ms. Joe Senior. We have Paul Houghton, the Greasby Turner. Oh, okay, new name. Robert Lapsley, Terry Bartlett, Tony Smith, Wendy at Toon Pez Crafts, Wayne the Wood Jedi, Wood Wizardry by Colin and Woodturning by Barry, and a few other folks snuck in. I think I saw CDA Woodturning. I think I saw David Oatley, I might be wrong, and a few other folk. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Oh, Christine and Michael are in.
Good evening, Christine and Michael. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming along.
Woodworm Paul is in too.
Oh, Joe's in. Hi, Joe.
Evening, Joe. Right.
Malcolm Douglas is in. Sorry, Malcolm. CDA Woodturning saying, ooh, that's a whopper, Wayne.
No, this is quite a small blank, this is.
Don't forget, Wayne, we want you to take longer than 2 minutes, 30 seconds on this one, if at all possible.
Yes.
Jimmy had a practice with the carbides this afternoon.
1 minute 43.
No, 2 minutes 50, but he did have a bit of bother with his worm screw, so I've advised him to get a force and a bit so he can mount it the same as I do.
That's what Vicky says. He always has a bit of a bother with his worm screw. I'm going to say this once. It is exceptionally warm. I'm not sure where everyone else is, but here in sunny Surrey, it's currently registering 28 degrees, and it's supposed to be raining soon. We can only hope.
It's ever so slightly cooler here in Sheffield at 24. Whether we're going to get any rain or not, I don't know. Not till Saturday by the looks of things.
Right, let's have a look at what's happening to this.
David Nicholson.
Looking quite nice.
Wood Dancers is in and saying it's hot in Texas. It's 28 down in Cornwall, says David Oatley. Tommy's Workshop said it's bleeding hot where he is. Sure is, says Colin. Too hot to get in the shed. Malcolm Douglas is telling us that it's 26 in Swansea.
There we go. Looks like it's hot everywhere.
Spider Spid's telling us he's not sure what the actual temperature is, but it's bloody warm in this wagon cab.
No envy there, mate.
Lewis, the Clonsdyke Craftsman's in.
Hi, Lewis. Well, there was a weather warning for over in Northern Ireland where Brian is. I don't know if Brian's in or not, but there was a weather warning for over there.
What did the weather do? Did it get a warning? Did it like stay up too late and get drunk? Question from Gerard the French Turner. Dale, is there a sale on the t-shirts or did they feel it fall out the back of a truck? No, Gerard, it's just exceptionally warm. It's just exceptionally
really
warm.
Is.
Great minds think alike, I think, on this one. It's 5 degrees here at the moment, says Darren. Steve Hale's in. Martin of Woody's Creations has just come in too.
All right, Martin.
You have 55 watching, young sir.
Excellent.
Andy Leonelli Posh Firewood Green is in. It's 16 degrees in South Finland. South Jay's cabin. Found the receipt from a Coronet Herald earlier on.
Mm.
You know, it was the price I told Sinyi, so I was very pleased. It was one of those moments because what price did I tell her this lathe was? And opened up and that was, oh, thanks.
Does the fear come more from her being your wife or an accountant? Though? That's the question.
Both. I'm Chinese, so Chinese sporrans are typed in Yorkshireman sporrans, which are typed in Scotsman sporrans. So just picture that for a second, okay? You know. Jason Leveron's in. Barry from Real Simple Things is in. Evening, Wayne and Worms and all in the chat.
Hi,
Good evening, Barry. Right, I'll do a
Gerard the French Turner is saying, Dale, if I could wear that kind of t-shirt in the kitchen, but health and safety regulation says it's a no-no, so we also have to wear a necktie. Gerard, I feel genuinely sorry for you, sir. You know, you're a martyr to your art.
Absolutely.
Oh, this Sheffield Sasquatch himself, Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft is in.
Hi, Wayne. I'm getting a bit of tear out on this, so I'm just going to do a final finishing cut with my 1/4-inch ball gouge to see if I can get rid of it.
You know you're at 8 minutes past 8, right?
Oh, right, okay.
Gav's in. Hi, Gav.
David Nico says Gerard, I plan to be cremated just so no one will bury me in a tie. Who else? We've got Gav's in from Today Work. Folks, remember, on the 30th of this month,
31st.
Tell a lie, 31st of this month, we have the Virtual Craft Festival again. There's some marketing material on the way out shortly, so watch out for it. But to give you an idea, the running order for the Virtual Craft Festival on the 31st, which is Saturday 31st, a week this Saturday, it's kicking off with Wayne the Woodturner, the Sheffield Sasquatch himself, his first time live. So as Wayne Bigfoot Woodcraft. Then we have Jonathan Whitaker from Carved by Hand. We may well have Maple Tree Studios, though there might be a stand-in, but us kind of getting ready to move, so watch this space. Al's Hack Shack at 2 p.m. Heidi from Whitehall Pottery at 3. James from Molten Make at 4. I think we've got SK Crafts at 5 p.m. We've got JP Woodwork at 6 p.m. We've got the Beard 16 at 7 p.m. We've got Tim Cunningham from the Urban Forge at 8 p.m. Nick the Flaming Turner at 9 p.m. We've got Andy Burkey himself at 10 p.m. Charlie Kuchek at Jack Bench Woodworking at 11 p.m. Mr. Jake Thompson at 12, and Carl Jacobson rounding out the day. So this is on the 31st. If it wasn't for your drilly, where would you be? William Brown's in.
Evening, William.
Just imagine what moving to Scotland's going to do to my accent.
Oh, I know.
Wendy's asking, will it be linked like last time? Yes, Wendy. Just as we begin to publish artwork, we'll get it all linked up. Douglas Mungham's asking a question, Wayne. Douglas Mungham's asking a question. Wayne, what is the mixture of metals used to make up a good bowl gouge, please? Dale, slow down the question.
Right, mixture of metals to make up a good bowl gouge. Well, I tend to use... Oh, I can't remember if it's an M4 or an M42.
Hi from the beer garden? Sorry, mate, I talked over you. Please, go ahead.
I think my favourite bowl gouge, which is that one, which is the Robert Sorby. Now, I think that's M4 steel with a titanium cobalt coating on it. M42 is a harder steel. I think that's what the Crown Cryo ones are made of. I think they're M42 steel. And then you get onto the likes of the Doug Thompson gouges and things, and I can't remember what type of steel is in that.
So Michael General Woodturner came in, and we had Colin Everett came in.
Right, so that's finished at 240. Some lovely spalting in this. I don't know if it'll still come through with the colour, because I am going to colour this. What do I need now? Sand and sealer.
Mark's just saying the beer's arrived. Goodbye, everyone. Fair dues, Mark. Enjoy your beer.
I think it was very disrespectful of Mark doing that. Seeing as how Joe's in the chat, because he'll be sitting in the beer garden with Glyn.
Yep.
Just wiping off the excess sand and sealer. And now I'll stick on some of Yorkshire's finest. There we go.
How's it looking?
It's looking nice.
Mark's woodshed's in.
Turn the speed down. And just start working this in. So I've been trying a new painting technique for the virtual crafty, which is not going well. So I'm going to have to think about doing something else.
Whoa.
So what I'll probably do is go back to Joe Sonia's and use some different techniques for applying the paint.
I left brushy down at Jamie's.
Yeah, I know you did. So you're not here at shouting.
No, I forgot all about it. I had 130 ice cream tubs to carry at the time, so it's kind of understandable. It's understandable.
Were they full or empty? Then?
No, well, even if they were full, I wouldn't tell you. Douglas Mungermass, Dale, another slowdown question. What wood is best and worst for tool handles and why?
Okay. The favourite wood for tool handles, certainly for Sorby tool handles, tends to be ash. A lot of people use beech, which is also good. I'm not very sure what the record power ones, because they tend to stain theirs, and Hamlets tend to stain theirs as well.
They do.
So I'm not very sure what they use. A hell of a lot of people do tend to use ash.
Lionel's in. Good evening, guys. Pat Cummings is in too. Pat Cummings, sorry, is in too.
Good evening.
The downside with wearing what is effectively a singlet is you get very warm in certain locations because there's nothing to be between you and said. You know, it's quite yes, the word is moist, I feel.
That's a good word.
It is a good word. And on that note, Lewis is asking, Wayne, have you tried the Carter and Son tool with an aluminium handles? I'm guessing that's something like the Hope modular system then.
It's similar in the way that it's used. They tend to have set screws in the Carter ones. We don't get the Carter ones over here, Lewis, and there's not many suppliers, or if any, actually do the aluminium handles. So what I'm going to do now, since I've used the Yorkshire grit and that's worked.
Are the Thompson tools aluminium handles?
I don't know if they're. Yeah, I think they're also blackened as well, and they're also, if I remember rightly, the hexagonal as well. They are the Thompson tools.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just using some methylated spirits now, or denatured alcohol, just to clean off what's been left of the Yorkshire grit.
Barry from Real Simple Things is saying, burn it, burn it, burn it. Actually, no, he's not. He's saying, question. What wood is Wayne turning?
I'm using a piece of spalded sycamore, Barry, which started off 8" by 8¼ inch by 3.5.
Joe's got a bottle of wine open, she says.
Nice one, Joe. I'll be opening a bottle when I get in the house.
What kind of wine, young?
Oh, can I just remind people that the top of the chat, what's been pinned at the top of the chat is the link to Scott, the Blue Light Turner, to his channel or his premiere that he's got on tonight at 9:30.
Cool. Do you think you'll be finished by then?
Oh, I don't know. What time are we on now?
I mean, it's 20 past the hour. I mean, anyone would think that you were practicing for a bull turning competition.
Oh no. I'd be going a bit faster than this.
What, like 19 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I did very well the other night. At 2 minutes. What do you measure that today, Di?
What was that? You were. It's in front of me here. 2 minutes 23 seconds. That was from hitting start to taking it off the chuck.
Snigger.
Now this colour is actually looking quite black, and it's supposed to be midnight blue. But not to worry.
What you've got there is what they call priest's black. You know, I mean, it isn't in fact. Sorry, it's what you've got there is normal people's black, because only priest's black is black. Everybody else's is very, 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 very dark blue. It's not really black.
It depends what washing powder the priest's other half uses, really. Though,
it depends what priest. Can we help you here? Hello. The 31st is the crafty Gerard.
Right, didn't like that.
I've run out of beer and it's far too warm. Anyone got any suggestions what I can do?
You've run out of beer?
Yeah, well, I've got 2 bottles left, and then I'm on to... Well, actually, yeah, I've only got 2 bottles of beer left in the whole house.
Oh, right.
I've got plenty of iron brew, and I've got plenty of wine, and I've got plenty of whiskey, and I've got a couple of bottles of dodgy Gordon's gin, which I'm going to have to find some practical use for, because drinking it isn't one of them.
No.
Although surely there's some ratio where you can't taste it under the iron brew, surely.
So there's a problem there. Why ruin good iron brew by putting gin in it?
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
It's a vehicle, though. It's a vehicle.
Question: What happened, Dale? What happened to? Oh, look, Jenny. I've said meths on ice. Benjamin's asking Dale, what happened to Make Us International? There's a long conversation about that, really, but we can collapse it to the guys give it a red hot go for 5 years, and then it was a major change in swapping folks out, and it just was one of those moments where, you know, what was really best for the show was not try to keep it going with new presenters, it was really just to bring it down to a close quietly and sedate. And that's what Jamie and Chris did. Ian the Monkey Hanger says he'll drink the gin. I might need to take you up on that. Douglas Mungham is recommending ice cubes round the gonads. Well, if you're a bloke, I think that'll be easy. If you're a lady, it might be a bit more tricky. To give you again, Ben, basically Chris and Jamie decided the show had really come to its end. Although they were working on getting the extra additional hosts in, but really the show wasn't really going to work going forward. The original chemistry between the 3 or 4 key guys was really sort of taken apart. It would take a long time to recover it. And between you and me, Jamie quite likes getting his Sunday night back. Between you and me, so hey. No hard feelings. It's all good. Story 60's in. You have 77 watching, young sir.
Grand. I'm not liking this colour at all.
Copper Owl woodturning's in.
Hey, Dave.
Rob.
Sorry, I was just looking at Dave there.
Dave.
Alan.
Steve. Alan. You call my pint of puff? What? Hey.
Don't like this. I'm taking it off.
Righto. Well, I hope that's the wood. I hope that's the colour you're talking about, not anything else. That might be quite disturbing. I may have to avert my eyes. Terry Ballard says, "Oh, we've got who is this? Webfoot Resin and Wood Creations is in." Remember, folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, go on, hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring. That will let that YouTube algorithm know that you like Wayne's content and that you also like other woodturning content. I'll start making those recommendations. At the top of the chat, you'll find a link to tonight's premiere at 9:30 by the Blue Light Turner. Or the Blue Light Tumbler, depending on which mood you're in. Go check that out at 9:30. I think there's a few other premieres tonight. I've lost track of all of the ones. But
Jigsy's on after Scott.
Jigsy's on after Scott, and there's one or two others after that. So make sure you're paying attention. Hit that notification bell and that thumbs up, and make sure you get some of these things coming through. On the 31st of this month, can I remind everyone that we have the Virtual Craft Festival? Watch out for the adverts and the playlist being put together in the next couple of days. On that, we have a bunch of new faces, a bunch of old faces, a bunch of round faces, a bunch of beardy faces, a bunch of hairy faces, a bunch of smiley faces, and of course, Jamie Page. Wayne, can you remind me when we get Jamie up in Scotland next that we spend the entire time calling him Jamesy?
Does that mean we're going to start calling Singy Mary Doll?
Oh no, we'll find something else, but you're on the right track though. I was thinking Ma Brun, personally. I can't remember who Willie had done. Phil Miller's in. This reckons it's flipping freezing down in Western Australia. Trade you. Questions?
Yep.
So how close will you two be living to each other? Asked Colin. Well, I should be able to hand a bacon sarnie out the window to Wayne. I think that's what we're doing.
It's around about, I think it's around about 45, 50 mile.
I've got long arms. What can I say? But there's a higher percentage of one of us turning up and the other one's actual live in their actual state.
Oh, yeah.
Circular Keith by Wood is in.
Okay.
Shug's in. Hey, Shug.
Hey, Shug. I tried the colour on that and it didn't work, so I'm just going to go straight for a finish on this.
Shug's asking, question. What sauce will the bacon sarnie have?
None.
Oh. See, at
least mine won't.
I've got a fetish for Sichuan sauce in mine right now. Really spicy. Barry's asking, well, you've been eating the hand with the moving in? Absolutely, Barry. If the renovations, absolutely, Barry. But they won't be for a month or two. The idea here is we're gonna have to put some planning permission in and a few bits and pieces to get stuff done. Now, the new Maple Tree Studios will be a few months away, because we have to build it effectively, and that takes a little bit of planning permission. Wait for the steels to turn up. Notice I said steels, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, and there's some greenhouses and some stuff. Question, asks Colin Izzard. What is the best wood to make a mortar and pestle from, please?
Olive. If you don't believe me, go and watch Costas Anagus.
Follow-on question from Young Shug. Good man, Wayne, but there could be a square sausage, eh?
Oh, yes, square sausage, yeah.
Now we're talking.
I still tend to like square sausage without any sauce, mind.
Douglas Mungham's asking me how close will I be to Inverness. I'm going to say...
around about 7 hours.
I'm going to say, so I disagree with Wayne somewhat on that particular point. I think it's about 2.5 hours from Inverness. Most of that, the reason being is you can get, it's mostly dual carriageway all the way to Inverness from the back end of Edinburgh, and we're south of Edinburgh. However, if you want to go anywhere after Inverness, brace yourself for taking a whole day. Because there's a whole country. There's this, folks don't realise that Scotland's a whole country. Hundreds of miles.
You see, in Wales, we like to achieve the impression of that by having every road go the full length of the country and back before getting to where you want to be.
So the thing I learned when I lived in Wales, right, because we had a place down in El Terrain, was that you guys have a pathological hatred of blowing those bloody mountains up and building the road straight. You will go round them. Blow the bloody mountain up. Dig through it, man.
It's because they're all hollow, mate.
There'll be a welcome in the hillsides. No, they won't. You've got to go round them. Ben's asking a couple of more questions. Ben Jammin's a question, controversial question. When making a bacon sandwich, do you have the bread on the outside or the bread sandwiched in bacon?
Ooh.
Well, it all depends.
Slice of fried bread between bread.
Or even turkey scone.
Well, you see,
it's like cardiac infarction.
See. The thing is, I like where Ben's going, because what you could have is the bacon wrapped around a sausage. Technically, that's still a sandwich.
It is. There we go. Now to see if I can get this off. No, here we go.
Darren J's suggesting
we're having a Jamie problem.
Australian ironbark. It will test your sharpening skills. The name is the giveaways to how hard it is. Good shout.
I think I turned at some of that once.
Gerard would love to visit a whiskey brewery, distillery in Scotland. Gerard, if you're ever over, mate, give me a shout and I'll make that happen for you. My brother lives 2.5 hours past Inverness. That'd be where my family kind of hail from, up in Caithness. Wayne of the Big Woodcraft says, not sure on olive wood for pestle and mortars, as I made one and it's useless. Can't grind spices very well in it. In fact, they're only 10 millimeters high. May be relevant though. Oh, tiny pestle and mortars. Yes, sir. Took me a while there. Wood Wizardry by Con says, no, we go through honking tunnel on the way to Bangor. Phil Miller, the distance between Phillip Island and Management. Oh, wait a minute. Management where I live is about 3,500 kilometres according to Google Maps. Cripes. That must be Australia you live in then, mate. Because everything, I mean, the trip to the local Barbie, the local food store is about 1,000 kilometres, isn't it? The wood that Wayne's turning is supplied by Just Wood and Air in Scotland. The proprietor, a gentleman called Charlie, is a Scottish equivalent of Yando's. So if you're ever in Scotland looking for
he's been there for years and years.
Awesome bloke.
Now, I don't know if you can see that, but you see how that drill hole there looks off centre? That's what was happening when I was trying to drill a mortise in the top. I had it clamped onto the pillar drill, and it was still jumping about all over the place, which is why I eventually went for a worm screw.
What is the question from young Mr. Mungham? What is the best glue to use to stick olive boards together? Face to face, please. Well, we're going to have to wait for your answer then, Douglas, until he meets you.
I'm not actually certain on that one because olive is quite an oily wood.
Didn't James Wright over at Wood by Wright trial some glues a year or so ago?
Ben, I would suggest that the price on the wood isn't the price that was paid. That's the marked up for people who walk into the store that don't know what they're buying. You speak to Charlie, he sells you things by the bat, not by the ball blank. Because I can assure you, tight ass for me wouldn't say that. It's a nice ball blank though. Doug Miller at Spun Round Wood. Again.
Hey, Doug.
Evening, Doug.
When you have 80 beautiful people watching you and 37 thumbs ups. Folks, if you really like what Wayne's doing, go on, hit that thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring. At the top of the chat, you will find a link to Scott the Blue Light Turner's workshop tonight. He is a premiere at 9:30. After him, we have Jigsy from Jigsy's Shed. But also, down in the description, you'll find a link to buy Wayne a coffee, which is really a wine, which is really a coffee, which is really a wine, which is really a coffee, which is really a wine, as long as you don't tell anyone, as a way to say thank you for all the effort and hard work that he's put into this, puts into all these lives, and as a way to say thank you. Glenn the Yorkshire gets in. He says, evening guys, we're getting squiffy on Bude Seafront. Good afternoon.
Now, when you're doing the inside of bowls, even when you're doing the outside of bowls, you don't need a hell of a lot of pressure. You don't need to hold on to the tool and get white knuckles. You don't need a white knuckle ride when you're doing this. As long as your tool's sharp and you get the cut sorted or started, you can just take it nice and gentle. Your left hand, if you're right-handed, your left hand is purely there for a guide.
More Valley Makers in?
I'm looking forward to seeing how Glyn responds to Ben there.
Young Darren is suggesting that you are in fact the new Billy Elliot. Just saying, question, is Strawberry Pro Edge really the best option for sharpening? Even better than a CBM? Asking for a friend, Smiley?
Personal choice. Personal choice. The thing is that if you want to try them both, you're either going to have to find somewhere that sells them both and who will give you a go on them both to see what they're like, or you're going to have to buy both, which is going to be very, very expensive to do. I've never used a CBN wheel. Before I had the Pro Edge, I used an ordinary 6-inch grinder with a sharpening jig on the 6-inch grinder. I used a red stone rather than the grey stone, which is a finer grind. But I've never used a CBN wheel, so I can't really comment on that.
I've recently advised a friend to go with the Pro Edge because he's not naturally adept. He's no interest in learning to sharpen by hand, and it'll give him quick and repeatable results so he can concentrate on learning to turn. I've got a different route because I am interested in learning to sharpen.
Which you need to do with an 8-inch grinding wheel and bloody patience if you want to learn how to sharpen.
Exactly.
Oh, they'll get a decent jig.
Yep.
A decent sharpening jig. The thing is, with the likes of the Tormex system and everything, even if you put a CBN on the Tormex system, there seems to be a bit of a faff about with getting the different angles and everything.
My solution was the Axminster slow grinder, 8-inch slow grinder, and then I bought the Sobe Deluxe sharpening system. So I've got the platform and the boss and the vary grinder that come with the Pro Edge, but I've got them presenting to a wheel, so I can achieve all the same things, but I can also practice hand sharpening. And I'm actually finding now, after watching a video the other day, freehanding the skew is much easier than trying to use the table or the jig.
I like my Sorby, that's all I'm saying. Perfect for chisels. Perfect for chisels. I've recovered so many busted chisels by using that. It's incredible. Much easier, very simple, awesome device. You don't have to buy the Sorby, you can buy the Axman, the clone, and they're much cheaper than Tormek.
I mean, even for ordinary wood chisels and carving chisels, you can get the angle, you can get the initial grind on a Pro Edge, and then you can use an oil stone or something to get the proper edge on for carving. You don't need to do that with turning tools, though.
I have a couple of oil stone sets next to my Strawberry for just that purpose. A couple of folks come into the chat. We've got Dewey Shed is in. We've got Jason Laverne's in. We've got Valerie Henschel's in. We also have Phil Miller popped in there. A few other folks. A couple of questions, I think. Question from Dewey Shed. What do you think of the diamond belt for the Pro Edge? Oh, you be quiet. Shh, Dewey. Right. Shh.
Now, from what I've been a downer on the diamond belt for a long time, until I found out a couple of weeks ago that they've actually got a lifetime guarantee. So if they do wear out, you can get it replaced. The thing with the diamond belt is it gives a very, very fine sharpness. Now, the maximum I go to is I use a 60 grit for reprofiling, and I use 120 grit for sharpening. With high-speed steel turning tools, you need to have a bit of an edge or a bit of a burr left on, which aids in the cut. Now, 120 grit sharpening, the tool is sharp. With the diamond belt, I think that's up about 400 or something. It's sharp, but it's a finer sharpness. And seeing as how it's a finer sharpness, it's going to lose its edge quicker than 120 grit will, in my opinion. Jeff Hornung did a live session. I can't remember. I think this might have been last year sometime now. But Jeff Hornung did a live session on Facebook explaining exactly the same thing. The difference between having a 120 a 120 grit sharpen and a 400 grit sharpen.
Mm.
William Brown says strawberry for him. Benjamin is 180 grit, isn't it? He thought.
What's that?
The diamond belt is 180.
I'm not, tell you the truth, I don't know. They are way, way, way out of my price bracket anyway.
Mm.
I cannot afford 150 odd quid purely for an abrasive belt.
Pro Edge Trizac belts work well with bench chisels. So Stuart and Grulia. Hi, Stuart.
Yeah, the Trizac I think are made more for the likes of the chisels and also for knife sharpening as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm. See, I need to make a purchase of some CBNs at some stage, but I really like the look of the ones that are only available at Woodturning Wonders in the States, and shipping somewhat.
I once watched one of Jimmy Clue's videos, and somebody had asked about sharpening the CBN wheels, and he said to start off with, you've got to pick the CBN properly because they're not all made the same. And you're looking at a couple $100 for a decent CBN wheel. And then with the grey grindstone wheels that you get, they're about $3 a piece. Mm. So how many grey grindstone wheels can you get for the same price as a CBM? And how long are they going to last?
And how likely are you to encounter them?
It's more about the heat sink property of the CBN for me. Oh yeah, Hodge, you've got them, haven't you? I'm jealous. Have you got there's the two that I like? One that, do they call it the cube or something, that's very square and got a really deep amount of abrasive on the side, and then there's another one they do with a radiused edge, because that would open up the most versatility for sharpening for what I want to do anyway.
You can see the spalting coming out of that now.
All right. The thing is, it's the same as anything. If you like having CBN or using like the Tomex system, things like this, the Wolverine system, Axminster system, whatever, that's grand. If you like using the Pro Edge, that's grand.
Absolutely.
Use what you want to use and what you find easiest to use.
Go on in, Die. Sing it.
Oh,
Sing it. Sing it.
No, I can't even remember the words.
Sing it.
Mate, we're likely to get an entirely different song if I start.
Sing it. Sing it.
No, seriously.
Go on, sing it.
Yeah, we might find the dyslexia kicks in and we get more than we bargained for.
That would be entertaining in itself. Yeah, sing it.
Hold on, is the guitar in tune?
No.
No. No, I seriously can't remember the words now under the pressure.
You suck, officially.
I'm sorry, pal.
I'll have woodturning by Adams in.
Evening, Adam.
I can now only think of the words to the advert.
Hugh's presented you with the words there. Die, off you go.
Yeah. For hands that feel pity can be soft as your face, with light brown Yorkshire gritty. Thanks, Shug.
Have you finished? Can I take my earplugs out?
Sorry?
Am I muted?
How much?
I'm not paying that. Has it gone up?
Thursday. Oh, another reminder. Remember Friday night, the 23rd. We are back to the Makers Quiz again.
I've priced up a flagpole, Wayne. Hashtag just saying.
Don't let Malcolm come up. He'll stick a Remy one up.
And that isn't a euphemism, guys and girls.
David Echo says the words to that song don't make sense. It doesn't matter.
Don't applaud, Wendy.
Here I are. I'm back. And there you have it. Just a nice little bowl. I was going to colour it, but the colour wasn't taking that well. It wasn't actually standing out the way that I was wanting it to stand out. So I decided to take it back off again.
Cool.
I think that's turned out quite nice. I'll bring the guys back in. There they are.
It's freaky. You know, the thing is, I'm glad I don't have your I'm glad I don't have your medallion. That's all I'm saying.
So, what's been happening? Not a lot.
See, the difference is I'm just wearing a vest. Dai's wearing a mankini. Just.
Right. Oh, God, I've still managed that in under an hour. Even
you
with
did. You were absolutely just, you were phoning that in.
Right then, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Going to pop in the house and grab myself a wee swally or something. He'll do the glamour shot. No, that's because I'm going to hit the button. Thanks everybody for coming along, and I will see you on Friday. Remember, Scott's on at 9:30 on his premiere.
Yes.